You've been patiently waiting for your presentation on the Community Choice Allocation Program. I hear you have
Did you wake him up?
yeah. Come on down.
The presentation, and get a chance to get over the.
Yes.
Do you want me to project that, or that's fine, I have copies for everyone. So.
Project that. We're not the county, Jeremy. We don't have an Elmo,
I got new
with
stuff here.
fancy tools. Bring your PowerPoint, so you actually need to submit your PowerPoint a couple days in advance now. Come on.
It's mine, I just finished it. So,
We have plenty of time here at the meeting.
I should have brought my computer out. Well, again, good evening. Jeremy Goldman, I'm Southern California Edison. Thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. I have my colleague Maria Listos from our Energy Procurement Group here tonight. She's going to say a few words as well, walk through some of the slides on the presentation on the CCA program. But let me just caveat this with there is a code of conduct that the Public Utilities Commission has in place regarding utility companies and what we're able to discuss in terms of this program. So some of the questions you might have for me, I may not be able to answer. So questions you probably have, probably can't answer, so apologize for that. I will say that the utilities, Edison, PG&E, SDG&E, have filed a request to modify that code to allow additional outreach to our government partners and other stakeholders, given the increased interest in this over the past year or so. So there could be a decision on that motion or request to modify it sometime in the early summer. So we're almost there on that, so stay tuned, more to follow on that. So with that, hand over to Maria. She's going to walk through a couple slides. We'll have about an hour presentation, and we should be good. No, we're going to be quick, 10, 15 minutes. Ben, thank you.
You didn't see the obvious behind.
So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Maria to walk through a couple of slides, then I'll take over, and 10, 12 minutes, and we'll be good. So thank you.
Thank you all for allowing us to present here. I appreciate it. Again, Southern California Edison, we're here talking about Community Choice Aggregation, otherwise CCA, known as CCA. It's basically a customer choice program where it permits local governments to purchase power on behalf of their citizens. The power is transmitted, will still be transmitted over SCE's lines. So SCE supports customer choice as long as all customers are treated fairly. And basically, for the last 100 years, SCE has provided affordable, clean and reliable power to all of us, and hopes to continue to do so. Right now, we provide several types of products, including self-generation. In just SCE's territory alone, there are over 200,000 rooftop installations. We were talking about solar earlier. The number keeps rising. We're expecting in the next 2 years to be 700,000. So that's a huge increase, which means we have to keep up with all the different products. Right now, we are about, in Edison's territory alone, 15% of the nation is for rooftop solar installations, so it's pretty high. And then in 2016, 28% of our portfolio was renewable, and that's steel in the ground. Unlike renewable credits, where sometimes the CCAs who are not actually investing in the contracts themselves purchase the renewable energy credits. This is actual steel in the ground. In 2017, we're almost at about 30%. And in addition to that, 12% is clean energy, which is our hydro facilities. So local citizens basically continue to be SCE's customers. Again, the power will be transmitted over our lines. The bills that the customers will receive will be SCE bills. We'll be doing the billing. And the CCA formation, our interest in forming, is increasing a lot. 65% right now in SCE's territory are looking at potentially going to CCA. So the power contracts the problem is right now, the power contracts that were signed years ago when everyone was a bundled service were signed at rates that were higher than today. As an example, in 2003 to 2004, renewable contracts, especially for solar and wind, were $300 to $400 a megawatt hour. Today, those same contracts are $40 to $50. So we purchased those high-priced contracts. They're 20-year contracts, and that's the high cost that the current customers are bearing. And on top of that,
Can you tell us when those contracts expire?
so they're 20-year contracts. If they were in 2004.
Okay.
Signed, but we continue to sign them because we have to meet the state mandates.
Who forced you to go 20 years?
I don't know if it was forced, but they were proposals, we had to meet certain thresholds for
Right.
renewable power by the CPUC.
Okay.
And those go out several years.
You say you have to continue to sign them, but they're gonna go past the 20 years now?
So contracts now are between 10 and 20 years. Most of them are shortened to 10.
Okay.
But our procurement activities have slowed down, obviously, because we are now meeting our threshold. So when the program was first put in place, we had a high benchmark to try to get to. So all of the utilities were just signing up renewable contracts. So again, SCE supports customer choice. We just want to make sure that everyone is treated fairly and sharing the cost of that. SCE is concerned about reliability and safety, those are the main concerns right now. SCE is not allowed to profit from any of these procurement activities. So the CPUC mandates all procurement activity we do, and there's no profit from that at all. And then SCE may not lobby or market against CCA formation. We only provide facts about what's going on, and that's part of the code of conduct that Jeremy was just talking about. On your slide, there's a picture, not everyone in the audience has it, but so the source right now Edison has contracts, invests in the steel and ground. With CCA formation, the CCAs will be basically buying the electricity that you see there. We will be delivering it over our lines, and then it finally goes to the end user, which is the customer. And the bottom picture there is a picture of the bill, and you'll be able to still see, because it still is, there will be an SCE fee for the transmission portion of it, and that's depicted by that first square, and then you'll see the second one is really the CCA cost of the energy. So that's what bills will look like for customers who are part of the CCA program.
So we'll have two, you're saying each bill will have two?
Yeah, so SCE will be billing, but you'll have the two broken out line items, so you can see which part is transmission, which part is energy.
Oh, okay.
That's all I have.
Yeah, so just the last couple slides. Slide 4, you hear a lot about the exit fees or PCIA, power charge and difference adjustment.
Last couple of slides, Jeremy, you have like 10 more
I'm
slides.
going to go through the set already.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. Actually, no, because I'm wrong.
Slide 4.
Slide 4. I'm going to run through this pretty quick for you guys. So PCIA or exit fees, what exactly is it? So I think the best way to describe it is, say we're having dinner at Teakwood's. Everyone's there, we ordered a bunch of food, drink, everyone's having a good time, and all of a sudden Tim Walker says, you know what, let's go over to Angelo's and get some pasta. So the food arrives, but we get up and leave. But we technically didn't eat the food, but who's paying for it since we left? So who pays for it? Do the customers that are there pay for it? Do we pay for it? And that's kind of probably the best way to describe the exit fee. We procured the electricity under the assumption that our customers would be there. But now they're going to a different source, which we support customer choice. So the PUC has actually opened a proceeding to fix this. The methodology currently is flawed on how customers are charged to leave the system. So we'll know in July, the end of July this year, what formula they use to resolve this. So all the different CCAs are part of it, the utilities are part of it, and so I'll have a better idea just in 2 short months. So next slide 5 out of 100. You can see the 10.6 kilowatt hour, that taller line graph. That's what we're paying now for our contracts. We're locked into those long-term contracts because of the state's renewable portfolio standard. But as Maria mentioned, on the open market today, you can get a lot cheaper. So keep in mind, these contracts will expire one day. Next slide, again, I talked about the PCIA or flawed methodology, exit fees. Again, we'll know in July. If you have more questions, I would encourage you to take a look at the PUC website. There's some really good information on there. Q&A on there you can take a look at. The last 2 slides are kind of just talking about some things we're doing on electric transportation, our electric pathway plan. We have our state-of-the-art facility here in Wildemar, Platinum Lead facility. Maria talked about the rooftop solar. We support the California environmental goals. Just don't want to burden our customers. Also very active in the local nonprofits. Every year we contribute $20 million to local nonprofits. Many here in Wildomar, the Southwest California area. We also pay a franchise fee every year to the city, which is pretty sizable, going up. Then just the last slide, slide 8. Don't plan to go through the rest of them. Just talks about the number of children we installed, 1,250 over the past year. In 2017, we used 40% of carbon-free electricity delivered to our customers. So you also hear about renewables, clean energy. I'm not sure if you knew this, but we actually offer a green rate. So today, if you wanted to go to 50% renewable or 100% renewable, there's a simple phone call and you can get it going right away. So that's another thing to consider. Also, for Mr. Benoit, or Mayor Benoit, we have a $450 credit for purchasing electric vehicles. So
It's already in the mail.
good.
Why you bought those cars?
It's not $450.
That's right.
I bought those cars so I could put solar on my roof and I have to pay Edison and still drive around for nothing. So that's what I'm doing.
So again, there's some other slides, backup slides with some other information. Take a look at your leisure. If you have any questions, give me a call. Again, do my best to answer what I can say. Again, very limited right now. So again, just thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. And it's been a good meeting. I learned a lot about what's going on here in the city.
Yeah, our marijuana grows are gonna be very expensive with your expensive
Well,
electric.
actually, in some areas, we can't even keep up with the marijuana growth. I mean, you look at the desert area was mentioned.
Desert Hot Springs,
We
yeah.
cannot bring capacity in fast enough up there.
Yep.
So that's a huge issue to consider as well. I know I'm off topic, but
Let me ask you a question. You just said something about renewables. You can go 40% or 100% or whatever. What's that mean?
You can pick. If you want to pay extra and get that power delivered to your house, it's only from.
Oh, I have the right to buy
You have the
more
right to buy it.
expensive?
You do.
absolutely.
Yeah, where do I sign up on that? I already give you $800 a month. I don't think I can afford anything more.
Again, there's no profit.
As I told you in our meeting, I am 100% electric house. So you guys should be coming and rubbing my shoulders when you're telling me these
Have an
things.
office party over in Wildomar.
You're gonna have donuts at your office party. Awesome. That's
All right.
very good, though. It's informative. I'm glad you guys came.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear the other side because, you know, we get bombarded with both sides and it's
I
nice to
appreciate the
know.
opportunity. So.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Yep. And thank you too